episode 11 of Stellar Fusion. I am joined by my friend and awesome coworker, Mitchell Saltzman, who has done dozens of reviews for IGN and has been at IGN for 4 years now. Like, you just celebrated your 4-year anniversary, right?
Yeah, so technically 4 years, but also technically 2, because my first 2 years working for IGN, I was a contractor basically.
Oh, no, it still counts.
Yeah.
It still counts.
if it was like, if IGN was actually celebrating my anniversary, they would say it would be a 2-year anniversary, but I'd be like, yeah, but we all know it's 4, right?
It's 4. It's 4.
Yeah.
That's a technicality. Like, you were still there doing work, so
Yeah.
you know what? Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so what was the most recent review you've done?
Well, I have a review coming up on Monday morning.
Ooh.
So that's the most recent one that I've worked on. I can't say what it is. I don't think. I usually just err towards the side of not being able to say.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Prior to that, I think the most recent review was UFC 4.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I actually didn't see what you gave that. What did you give it?
Oh God, you're putting me on the
Oh
spot.
no.
I think I gave it an 8. I think I gave it an 8 because it was. I think I gave UFC 3 in the 7s, and this one I thought was a substantial improvement in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I think I gave it an 8. Someone check
Okay.
me on that. Just and if I'm wrong, hold me over the coals,
Oh,
because
God.
that's shameful that I can't remember a review that happened a month ago.
Flippin' Chat says Mitchell Saltzman is one of my IGN faves.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
That's really cool to hear.
Yeah, chat is definitely
Baller
focused
too
on
is my favorite commenter in Stella's chat that I've met so far.
Aw. There you go. Mutual respect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was actually curious about this. What was actually? You know what? Hold on. Let me hold on to that. What was your first review that you've ever done?
At IGN or just in total, like overall?
Ooh, overall.
Overall, man, it's so long ago. I don't even remember that far back. So the first game that I remember getting a review code for was Disgaea 2, and I remember it because they sent me a burned CD-ROM drive, or a burned CD-ROM for my PlayStation 2. And I would put it into the PlayStation 2 and it'd be like, I don't know what this is. What, are you trying to pirate this game? Get this out of here. And so I ended up having to do is I had to get a little slide card that you would slide into the little crack of the PS2 disc drive. You would manually eject it, put the disc in, and then put it in so that you would bypass whatever
Oh my god.
whatever protection the PlayStation 2 had on startup. And that's how I got my Disgaea 2 copy to work. It was
Oh my god.
it was crazy. But yeah, I think the first review for IGN that I did was Matterfall.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know any of those.
It's fine.
games, but okay.
Probably 500 people watched that review. No, it's a really solid 2D arcade shooter from Housemarque. They do a lot of arcade shooters. But yeah, one of the things about doing reviews for IGN, if you're not hired on as a reviewer, is you have to kind of work your way up to be able to take on bigger projects. And so I always wanted to do reviews, so I kind of saw that as an opportunity. Like, IGN probably wouldn't do a review for this game otherwise, so I'm just gonna put my name in the hat. I told Dan, like, hey, I've done reviews before, I'm pretty solid at it, and I can edit, so I would love to do this review.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your most controversial review?
I haven't really had very many controversial
Ooh,
reviews.
okay,
Knock
good.
on wood. I think probably maybe one of the Dragon Ball games, just because the Dragon Ball fan base is so rabid.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to start fight, Dragon Ball
God.
fan. Don't hurt me. I'm just you all have to accept that you can be a little bit passionate about the things that you like.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Uh-oh. Farm says re. he's reeing at you. Huh, okay, interesting. Well, that's good that you haven't had any super controversial ones.
Yeah, there's definitely been some reviews where I went to sleep the night before the embargo, like worried about what my phone was gonna look like when I woke up.
Yeah.
Jump Force was one of them. I think I gave Jump Force like a low score, like a 5 or maybe even a 4. And again, anime fans, love you. I'm one of you, but we can be passionate about the things that we like. So, there's a little bit of trepidation going into that, knowing that there's probably going to be people mad at me for this. But fortunately, the world was sane and realized that Jump Force is actually not a great game. So
that's the one was Luffy in that one? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really cool concept for a fighting game, just taking all the Shonen Jump animes and manga and merging together for a fighting game. But yeah, it was kind of a mess.
Yeah, man, I was so excited about that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Not says anime fan, but what about anime fighter fans?
I love those too. I've reviewed a lot of those too.
Okay, favorite fighting game, like with anime fighting games in mind. Go.
Favorite fighting game with anime fighting games in mind, I would probably say Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I reviewed that one. If you were to ask me what score I kind of regret the most at IGN, I would probably say Dragon Ball FighterZ, because I think I gave it in the 8s. But it's one of those things where with a fighting game, you can only play it so much at launch and only form your opinion so much, because you're not playing against the high level competition that you would be playing with post launch. You kind of do what you can against the computer, you do what you can against other people that have a pre-release copy of the game. Mm-hmm. But your real knowledge comes from when you start playing against other people and they start teaching you the ins and outs of other characters. And if I was to review Dragon Ball FighterZ, 2 months after it came out, I probably would have given it like a 9.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I think it's also okay to say that your opinion can change, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
Not also followed up with, is Smash a real fighting game?
Yes, come on. Of course it is.
I'm so bad at it though. I'm just like, okay, I'll play Kirby and just eat everyone. That's how you win, right? Like that's.
Oh no, so you're not. For me, there's a couple of different Kirby players I've encountered. The ones that just try to, press B and take powers and then use other people's powers. And then there's the ones that just jump over your head and then try to down B. That's you? Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know how else to play the game. I don't know how else to play it. I'm just like, I'll just stay away and then, peck at people.
I love it, though. I love the fact that Smash is a game that can be so many different things. It can be a party fighter. It can be, a intense one-on-one fighter. The flexibility of that game is just insane.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should ask this question just because people have been talking about it in chat. So is a hot dog a sandwich?
It's funny because this is like a question as old as time, or at least as old as, hot dogs or sandwiches have been around. But I've never actually talked about this with anyone.
You hearing it here first, folks.
Yeah, my exclusive thoughts on whether a hot dog is a sandwich. I am of the opinion that a hot dog is not a sandwich.
Ooh,
What's your thought?
I don't think it's a sandwich because I think it's more of like a taco, because it's open, right? And the way that it's sitting, it's like a taco.
Right, but so would you consider a sub a sandwich?
Yeah,
I've had meatball subs. I've had meatball subs that weren't like two pieces of bread that were, put together. They were kind of hot dog shaped. So for me, that's not where the distinction is. I think for me, it's just a matter of I like specificity. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm saying, man, I really want a sandwich, I'm craving a sandwich right now. I don't want hot dog to be in that little, pocket of craving.
Like that's not in your head at all.
There's two different cravings. If I'm craving a hot dog, I want to say I'm craving a hot dog right now. If I'm craving a sandwich, I want people to know what specifically I'm craving.
No, that's fair. Okay. Oh, okay. To my defense, an open-faced sandwich, yes, it's still a sandwich. But I think because you put the toppings on a hot dog, like between, like on top of the whole thing, I think that's why I say it's a taco, because that's what you do with your tacos, right? Put the meat, and then you put like the other toppings on it, and it goes up. You build it up, as opposed to like a sandwich where you build it in the thing.
Yeah.
So
I think it really depends on like how like nerdy you want to get with it. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that will be like, actually, Webster defines a sandwich as 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having filling in between. So technically, a hot dog is a sandwich. But that's such a boring way to go about it. I think specificity is important, and you can't just, if you go to a restaurant and they list sandwiches, you can't have a mile-long list of different things that you can order, because everything qualifies as a sandwich. You want to split it up to like, okay, here are the hot dogs you can get, here are the sandwiches, here are the melts, here are the tacos, etc., etc. This restaurant has everything.
Yeah. Yeah, where did you go for this? Mike says 10 out of 10 nerd voice.
Oh, well, thank you.
So you would just put it in its own category?
Yeah, I would put it in its own category.
Okay. So there you go. Mitchell says it's its own category, and I'm saying it's a taco. Y'all can fight me.
Is a taco a sandwich, though?
No.
Why not?
Because it's its own thing.
Right, exactly.
Wait, but a quesadilla could be a sandwich, though. Because it's like 2 of them.
We're going down a rabbit hole right now that we're never going to get out of.
Seriously. Okay. Not actually had a good question. Do you think Pokken Tournament or Power Rangers will become an actual popular fighting game? They are popular franchises, but don't seem to get the popularity of Fighter Z and such.
I mean, they kind of have their niches. I think what both Pokken and Power Rangers Battle for the Grid really needs is first, Pokken needs a company other than Nintendo to get behind it, because Nintendo doesn't care about the competitive community, as demonstrated by their handling of the Smash Brothers competitive scene. Power Rangers has like the fighting game pedigree that would make it very popular, but I think what it needs the marketing budget behind it. So it probably also needs a developer that has an established name within the genre. So yeah, I think if ArcSys made a Power Rangers fighting game, that would become a popular fighting game franchise. But I think Battle for the Grid has some work to do on that front, unfortunately.
Man, I miss Power Rangers. I miss watching it when it was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Power Rangers did you get into? Was it Mighty Morphin or?
I think it was Mighty Morphin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Yellow Ranger was my shit.
Yeah. Trini.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't there a fighting game that's out for that? Is that Battle for the Grid that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's Battle for the Grid. I reviewed that one too.
Oh, I think I was thinking about like looking into it and like playing it, but I had seen some mixed reviews, so I was like, oh, maybe I don't want to try it. I don't know yet.
So the thing about that game is that it's gotten much better since it came out, because it's added more characters. The biggest problem with it when I reviewed it was that it was just completely devoid of content. There was no single player story. There were like 8 characters. And it just had the foundation of a really good fighting game, but nothing around it. And I think they built it up over the last 3 or so years since it's been out. Maybe 2 years. I don't know. But yeah, definitely check it out.
Wait, what about what was it, that one was it PlayStation All Stars? That was like the fighting game that PlayStation came out with. Did you like that one? What did you think?
Here's a controversial opinion. I liked PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Wait, that's a controversial opinion?
It is. A lot of people didn't like that game. I think a lot of people expect it to be like Smash Brothers, and it's distinctively not like Smash Brothers, other than the fact that they're both kind of 4-player party fighters. But like, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale took this really weird style of gameplay where you didn't actually defeat enemies by dealing damage to them. In order to actually score points, you had to use a super and land your super on the opponent. So it became like this weird thing where characters were good or bad, based on how easy it was to hit someone else with the super. But I thought it was a really interesting way to do that kind of game, and I hope that when the PS5 comes out, we see a return to it. It's sad that the developer is no longer a developer anymore. They're gone. Superbot.
No.
Yeah. But,
I liked the game. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun too, and just like the novelty of being able to be Nathan Drake against like Ratchet or Jack against all these other classic Sony characters is really cool.
Yeah. Not asks, will fighting games ever become a battle royale?
Man, that would be interesting. I actually saw there was a convention. Are you familiar with Gang Beasts?
Yeah, I love that game.
Gang Beasts is awesome, right?
It's so fun.
there was a convention that had a Gang Beast set up, and it was like this big like wrestling ring or boxing ring, and everyone would play, and they would look up at a scoreboard screen, and it was like 100-player Gang Beast.
Oh my god!
And it was all like battle royale style, where you'd have to throw someone over the road, and it was so much fun. And I think that's probably the closest that we'll ever get to like a fighting game that's like a battle royale. But I would love to see something like that. It was so much fun.
Was it that one map with the ring in it? Because that's a tiny ring, and that's
I think they made it bigger though. I think they made it bigger.
100-player. I think
and maybe it wasn't 100. Maybe it was like maybe 50.
Okay, but still
maybe even 25. I don't know.
But you're saying it felt like 100.
Yes, it felt like there were a lot of derpy looking Gang Beast men.
I love the chicken outfit, because like when you like headbutt someone, it looks like you're pecking them.
Yeah, I love Gang Beasts.
I
feel like Gang
so
Beasts
cute.
is kind of like the predecessor to the success of a game like Fall Guys.
Did you play Human Fall Flat? That also kind of has the same.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle game, but it has the same physics as Gang Beasts. So it's super cute, because you're trying to solve puzzles while also being like a floppy person.
That's fun.
Yeah. Shadow says, do you think console or PC is better, or do they have their own unique features?
It's a different crowd. I think if you take all other factors out of the equation, just look at it from the experience you get playing the game, I think PC is generally superior. But the problem is not everyone, I think, has the desire to deal with the upkeep of having a computer, because there's a lot of maintenance you have to go through. There's a lot of moving parts. You have to instead of just getting a box and knowing that the game you put in will work as intended, with a PC you have to worry about, did I install the piece of RAM that I got correctly? Is my video card up to date with its drivers? There's all kinds of things that can happen to a PC that just makes it kind of a stressful experience. But if you can get over that hump and you can learn how to properly maintain a computer, I think generally PC is where the better experiences are.
Yeah, that's a very fair answer.
I try. I try to keep a level head about these things. Lots of people get very intense on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not to say that doesn't mean that we don't enjoy games on consoles, right? Like that's not a. I think the console wars. I think that's just really stupid. It's like, hey, play on what you want to play. Also, if you want to play something on a different console that's an exclusive, just play it. There's nothing wrong with it. Like just own all the consoles. It's fine. Except for the debt you might go into, especially with these new consoles coming out.
Who even really cares about debt? It's just a concept.
God,
it doesn't actually affect you. I'm just kidding. Please pay off your debts.
Is For Honor a fighting game?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. God, that's a harder question than is a hot dog a sandwich.
Wait,
I would
really?
say
okay.
I would say no, but obviously there's a lot of fighting game thought put into the design of For Honor. So like if someone was into fighting games and wanted to try, something new, I'd be like, oh, you should check out For Honor. You'll probably latch onto it really quickly. But no, I wouldn't say For Honor is a fighting game.
Wait a minute. So I know. Okay, I just realized. So I know you're really big into fighting games, but you're also into Souls games. But oh my God, was it last year? Last year, it was Evo. You'd gone to Evo, right?
Mm-hmm.
How far did you get in the tournament again?
Hold on. I've been talking a lot.
It's fine.
I got not that far. I didn't get out of pools. I won 2 and I lost 2. So the way it works is it's double elimination. Once you lose once, you go into the losers bracket, where you play against other people who are also in the losers bracket. And if you lose again, then you're out of the tournament. My big claim to fame is that I managed to beat Tasty Steve, who is a big fighting game name in the community. Not so big in Mortal Kombat, which is the only reason why I was able to beat him. But I beat him, and not only did I beat him, but I beat him on stream. So there's video evidence that I have beaten Tasty Steve in Mortal Kombat 11.
I think, was that the game that we saw streamed that we were all cheering for you in the office?
That was it. That was so cool.
That was so cool. Yeah. I hadn't even met, for context, I hadn't even met Mitchell in person yet. He was, did you do yes, you did do my video interview.
Yeah, I was part of that.
Yeah, so I met him there, but then he was leaving to move to LA instead of staying in San Francisco. So I hadn't actually met him, but we were all like, oh, Mitchell's in this tournament. We got to watch it. So everyone in the office literally stopped working to watch this stream. And we were like huddled around different desks just watching him. And like, it was so cool. I think I still have the video, but I have the video of everyone being like, yeah, get him. Like, yeah.
I remember, pulling up that video while I was at Evo, and like honestly kind of like tears started forming in my eyes because I was like so happy that all of you guys were cheering me on. It was super fun.
I still think that's like a huge compliment and like wrong thing. That's like a huge feat, right? To have competed in Evo and gotten that far still, because like that's still incredible. Like I suck at fighting games, so I can't even imagine I'd get eliminated.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it
seconds.
definitely was something that I had to, train for. Like I practiced Mortal Kombat a lot to get to that point. But yeah, I was happy about it. I'll never profess to be a professional fighting game player, or, I'll never go out of my way to say, you think you can play Mortal Kombat? All right, let's play. Come on. I'll never be that guy, but I consider myself pretty decent at it.
I think that's so cool. Okay, do you think you're better at fighting games or Souls games?
Probably fighting games, because I play them more. I only really play Souls games when there's a new one to play. Yeah. I don't often go back to them after I've beaten them unless I'm like on a stream. So yeah, I would say probably fighting games. Okay, and if you ask my chat, they'll definitely tell me. They'll definitely tell you fighting games. I get clowned on whenever I play Souls games on Twitch.
Did you ever do the PvP in Dark Souls 3? Like, there was like that special area where they always did PvP.
I've dabbled in PvP, but I feel like there's so much lag that happens, and it becomes so frustrating whenever you die, and it feels like it's because of lag, that I just didn't like dealing with it. Also, my buddy Phil Reich is in the chat saying I must finish the DLC. One of these days, my friend. One of these days.
Wait, I will help you with it.
Yeah? You're gonna co-op with me on Dark Souls 3?
I got the big like club hammer that looks like a chicken wing. That's like burnt. I got my burnt chicken wing hammer. Let's go. We got this.
Are you playing through it right now?
No, but it's been so long. I think I still have it installed, but I played it like when it first came out. Oh my God, I loved it so much. I don't think I beat all the optional bosses, but they suck anyways. It's fine. Someone had asked, what are some games that you're interested in that haven't come out yet?
Let's see. Oh God, the big one is the game I'm reviewing on Monday. I can't even say it.
Yeah.
Check out Monday for my review for said game. Other than that, obviously, What
I
were
was
you
gonna
saying?
say, check it out on his Twitter, which is Jurassic Rabbit.
Yep.
So on Monday, keep an eye out.
Yeah, I think obviously Cyberpunk
Mm-hmm.
is I think the big game that everyone's waiting for right now. I'm really interested in the upcoming Destiny DLC, Beyond Light. Destiny is a game that I've kind of had, just pockets of experience playing. I would play the hell out of it, stop, forget about it for like a year, come back, obsess over it, drop it, come
Yeah.
back, and recently I've gotten back into it because it's free to play, and so it's been a game that I could get some of my really longtime friends, like my best friend of 30 plus years, typically doesn't play video games, but because he was looking for something to play, I'm like, hey, let's all jump into Destiny. And it's just been so cool being able to like reconnect with him through Destiny and just be able to play it almost every day with him. So Beyond Light is something that I'm really looking forward to. And there's also Assassin's Creed. I got to play Assassin's Creed. I wasn't super sold on what I played for Valhalla, mainly because I just got done playing Ghost of Tsushima, which I reviewed and obviously I adored. And that game does so many things, I think, for the action adventure, the open world action adventure genre that I would just love to see Assassin's Creed do, and it's just not doing it. But yeah, I think those are the big ones.
Okay, that's fair.
What about
Yeah,
you, So? What are you looking forward to?
Definitely Cyberpunk. God, that's like the one big thing that I always go back, like circle back around to, like that I'm excited for. But I can't think of anything else. Demon Soul.
Oh
That
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Of course. We don't even know what the launch lineup for the PS5 is going to be. So, like, if
Yeah.
Demon Souls is a launch game, take my money right now.
I know.
I don't care how much is left in my bank account. I'll pull out a loan
Yeah.
for those the $60 I need, and whatever it costs for the PS5. But yeah, Demon Souls is definitely, if that's a 2020 game, top of the list.
Oh yeah, because I never played the original, and
Ooh,
knowing
it's
that
so
that's
good.
knowing that that's where all the Souls games came from, I'm just like, I have to play this. Like, I have to.
It's where the Souls games came from, and even though it's like the first one, it's amazing how well it still holds up. There's like a couple of aspects of it that will feel a little dated if you're coming from the Dark Souls games, but I think once you kind of get over that initial learning curve, oh man, the stuff that Demon Souls does is just.
Okay, so then actually, I have a question. So I know you played. Oh my God, what is it? Mortal Shell. That's kind of a Souls game.
Yeah,
How did that
that's
compare to Dark Souls? Like, I know you did a video on this, but for my chat who may not know.
Mortal Shell is definitely among the better Souls likes out there. I would consider among those there would be Code Vein, The Surge, Lords of the Fallen, Salt and Sanctuary. Salt and Sanctuary, by the way, if you haven't played it, 2D Souls like, one of the best ones. And I would say Mortal Shell is probably just under Salt and Sanctuary in that short list of really good Souls likes. But yeah, what's nice about it is that it's not a super intensive time commitment like the Souls games can be. You can probably get through it in like 15 to 20 hours, I think. Maybe even less if you're particularly good. So yeah, like, definitely check out Mortal Shell.
Okay, so do you think it's worth buying?
Mortal Shell, yeah, I would
Yeah,
say so.
okay.
It's also like a budget title game. It's an indie game, so it's like maybe $20-$25, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 30. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely less than 50 or 60.
Were you gonna say something? I feel like I
I
interrupted
was
you.
gonna say, Korean Sheep in your chat said Code Vein has the best anime character creator, and I totally agree. My buddy Phil, who was just in here, he runs a stream where he's going through the game, and he made a picture perfect Giorno Giovanna from JoJo Part 5. So
Oh my God!
check it out.
We have so many JoJo fans in chat, so that'll be so fun. Yeah, Simple
If you
says,
are
"Oh
a
my
JoJo
God."
fan, if you are a JoJo fan, I'm just gonna say, follow. He's right there. He's right there in the chat. And he might not want me to say this. I'm gonna say it anyway. Phil M. Reich, ladies and gentlemen, is the voice of Giorno Giovanna for the English dub of JoJo Part 5.
Wait, really?
Go follow him on Twitch because he's amazing and a really good friend of
Wow!
mine and just a super fun person to watch on stream.
That's so cool. So we have two celebrities in our midst. We have Mitchell and Phil. Ooh, Shadow is a really good question. What is your favorite game that you can go back to at any time?
Oh boy. I would say, well, Destiny for one.
Yeah.
Oh, Mitch, these tears are the work of an enemy stand. You know, I'm always looking out for you, Phil. But yeah, I think Destiny is one of them. Smash Brothers is another. If anyone ever wants to play me in Smash Brothers,
No.
doesn't matter where my Switch is, I'll find it, hook it up, and we'll play some Smash. And Spelunky is just the ultimate game to pick up, put down, just because it's always different. It's always the randomization elements are so good, and it's just incredibly challenging in a very fulfilling way.
Okay. Hold on, I had missed a question. I think it was, oh yeah. Aside from Smash, what's the best fighting game for casuals? Like, I don't want to grind like hell to have fun with it.
The best fighting game for casuals. Okay, I have a good answer for this because I just reviewed it. There's a game called Fantasy Strike. It is a free-to-play fighting game, and it is designed from the ground up for being a fighting game that's meant for people who aren't typically fighting game fans. And so there's no like complicated input commands. It's all just one button, a direction and a button. And instead there being like a life bar, you have like life segments. So every time you get hit by an attack, it deletes a segment. So you always know how many hits it'll take to kill you and how many hits it'll take to kill the other person. There are things like everything is very well communicated in the characters. So like if you flash blue, that means that if a person flashes blue, that means they're going to grab you. It means you should jump. If a person flashes white, that means they are invulnerable during their attack. So you should not try to interrupt it. It's just very, very smartly designed for new players. And yeah, I definitely recommend it.
That actually sounds right up my alley because I suck at fighting games, but
It's
I
free
could
to
totally
play.
get into that. Yeah, exactly.
There's really nothing. You have nothing to lose. Check it out.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm curious, how did you feel about Blaze Blue? Because that was a fighting game.
Blaze Blue is the opposite of Fantasy Strike. It is one of the most complex fighting games I've ever played.
Yeah.
But with that complexity comes all kinds of really cool things that you can do. One of the reasons why I like Spelunky so much is the idea of emergent gameplay, where there's kind of this sandbox of possibility, and every time you play it, something different will happen that you can kind of like write a story about. With fighting games, every match is different. It's the same thing. Every match is different because you never know what your opponent is going to do. You're going to have to react to whatever they're doing. It's never like a set, style of game that you have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's with Blaze Blue, because there's so much complexity to it, there's so many different possible things that can happen in any given match, which is really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Shadow wants to know. Okay, people want to know, who do you mean in Smash?
Depends on which Smash we're talking. If we're talking Smash Ultimate, I like to say that my main is Mario. I haven't played it in a little bit of time since probably the last DLC. But I would say probably the one that I do the best with is probably Terry Bogard. But Mario is my favorite to play just because I think he's so fundamentals focused, and he's kind of got a tool to deal with almost everything that someone can do. So yeah, I would say Mario is my main, which is a basic answer, but I swear to don't think I'm I don't know what I'm doing just because I'm playing Mario.
love Terry's inputs. Yeah, you got some fans now.
Yeah. Terry's awesome. He's such a good implementation of a traditional fighting game player character in a non-traditional fighting game.
I'm trying to get your stream so I can shout it out so people can watch you play. Do you play Smash on stream? Or like, what is your go-to game?
I haven't streamed in a while. Once Spelunky 2 comes out, I'm probably gonna stream some more. Just because that's the kind of game that I love streaming. I love. Yeah. You'll probably appreciate this. I love streaming games that provoke a reaction out of me. Anything that makes me get excited and yelly is something that I want to stream, because I think that's the most fun for viewers when they can see you react genuinely to something that happens in the game. And Spelunky gets that with every 5 minutes.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Because there's so much riding on your death that like it crushes you. If I have like a jetpack and I'm on like the 3rd level and all of a sudden I get hit by something and I fall into spikes and I die and I have to start all the way over, like you'll feel that crushing sense of despair.
Yeah. Okay. Did you ever play DayZ then? Because I think that's why I liked that game too.
I did, but my problem with DayZ is that I'm such like a coward chicken shit that I never wanted to move. Yeah. So I would always it was like a very boring experience for me. It was like 15 minutes of boredom and then 1 moment of excitement, which is usually ended with me dying.
No. You didn't have the right crew.
That's probably true. It's also why like I'm typically not very good at battle royales.
Oh, but you want to play? Wait, but we did. So if you guys remember, Mitchell was in the stream where we played Fall Guys together.
Yeah. Okay. So Fall Guys is a little different.
Yeah, it's technically a battle royale, but it's a little looser on that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Simple asks, what home console would you say historically had the best fighting game lineup?
Ooh. All right. I'm gonna say Dreamcast, because I think the Dreamcast was, I don't think it's really fair to include stuff like, the PS4 and Xbox One, because they have such a extended back catalog of fighting games that already, existed on other platforms. But if you look at the Dreamcast, you had Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you had Soul Calibur, you had a bunch of other ones. God, you had the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game. It was just during a time when most of like the fighting games out there were in the arcade, and the Dreamcast was kind of the console that brought them all home. So I would say definitely Dreamcast.
You really are an expert on fighting games. We just haven't talked so extensively on fighting games. So like I'm actually learning a lot right now too. So yeah. I do remember playing Soul Calibur on it, I think, because I do remember playing it with my uncle. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh, all these lady characters look so pretty, but like, oh my God, I would never wear any of that. And I was always like, I want to beat this person. I think my favorite fighter is definitely Terra. I'm a Terra main.
Uh-huh. Oh, Terra from some Soul Calibur?
Terra, yes, Terra, sorry. The ring, right? Yeah. The hula hoop, because I'm like, yeah, get this hula hoop.
She was cool. She had like hula hoop combos where she would like spin around. Yeah.
My favorite was like the uppercut with it, because it looks so violent. I'm just like, yeah.
You fling your hoop and people go flying 50 feet in the air.
Yes. It's my favorite. I actually have the latest Soul Calibur. We should play it.
Yeah. Soul Calibur 6? I mean,
I'm going to suck.
Let me know. I haven't played that game in a very long so.
Yeah, me neither. I played it on launch, and then I was like, oh, I really suck. I'll practice offline, and I never did. So, yeah. Oh, did you ever play? Oh, was it Dreamcast? I think it was Dreamcast. My favorite game, I think my favorite retro game is probably Typing of the Dead, because it was just so ridiculous. Yes, I freaking loved it. I loved it so much. Like the first time my friend showed it to me, I was like, "What is this?" Because he pulled out a keyboard, and I was like, "There's a keyboard for the Dreamcast?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, do it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just sat down and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm all about this."
I actually
typing.
I didn't have the keyboard, but I had the actual light gun for House of the Dead 2 on Dreamcast, and I spent so much time playing that because you know, it was the first time having that experience of being able to do a light gun arcade game from my house. I didn't have Duck Hunt. I might have had Duck Hunt, but I was a very small kid. But I just loved being able to go up to my TV and shoot everything.
That's so cute. So we've been talking about fighting games. Favorite anime. Go.
Ooh, favorite anime. One Piece is my favorite anime to watch. I think the best anime, if you were to ask me, I think those are two different things. The best anime of all time is Monster. Watch Monster. If you've never heard of Monster,
no, I haven't.
Search it on Google. It's probably a very specific thing you're gonna have to search Monster anime or Monster manga. It is so, as Afraid Not says, it is so good. The man has taste. Monster, check it out.
I think you've won the respect of not today. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to look that up. I was actually just looking on Hulu last night because I couldn't sleep. So I was scrolling through. I was like, different animes. Okay. I kind of want to watch The Devil is a Part-Timer because I hear that's a pretty good, funny one. But my favorite anime of all time is definitely Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
That's number 2 for me, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Full Metal Alchemist. You can't get as excited about Full Metal Alchemist because everyone knows about Full Metal. But Monster is one that if you don't know about it, you gotta check it out. Okay. It's like 74 episodes, so it's a long haul, but it's worth it.
Not asks. Okay, what about anime releases in the past year?
In the past year, does ReZero count? ReZero is really good. It's probably like my favorite new anime that I've been watching recently. Obviously, Attack on Titan is fantastic. What else? Those are the two big ones that immediately come to mind.
Does JoJo count? Because that's been ongoing.
So here's the thing: is Phil still here? I really like JoJo Part 5. I really like what I've seen of Part 3. I did not like Part 1. It's to the point where it turned me away from watching Part 2, even though I've heard Part 2 is good. And yeah, so I find myself up and down on JoJo.
Okay.
But yeah, so JoJo, I really like Part 5 though.
Okay. Yeah, Simple says not many people like Part 1. It's traditional.
Yeah. Oh, Phil is still there.
He says that's fair, so that's okay. You're pardoned.
I will say also, one of my other favorite animes of all time is Higurashi no Nakukoro ni, which is getting a remake, and everyone should watch it. I'm so excited. It's the most I've been excited for an anime in a very, very long time. So be sure to watch the remake of Higurashi no Nakukoro ni when it comes out.
Okay. You are educating me.
If you've never heard of it, don't look look up anything about it because it's best to go in with a completely fresh mind.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. They want you to spell that out for them or if you can type in the chat.
I'll type it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Higurashi no Nakukoro ni.
It is definitely a mouthful.
Yeah, the English title is When They Cry.
Okay, so I haven't watched One Piece since the time skip. It's been so long, but I loved watching it. Yeah, I loved it. Nami is my bae. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
I love her, and her what is it? Her weather staff was so cool.
The claim attack.
Yes. I'm like, how do I make that? I want it.
Have you ever tried to cosplay Nami or anything?
I've looked into it, but I don't know which one I would want to do. Probably her latest one because she has the super long hair. But yeah, I remember when it was first coming out, everyone was all about Robin. I was like, I get it, but Nami's my original. So
my now wife cosplayed as Robin when we were at Anime Club. and oh, my heart.
Oh, that's what won you over, right?
Well, I think we were together at that time.
Oh,
but
okay.
I was even more won over. I was like, okay, this is the right choice here.
Yeah. So I think you posted about it maybe like a few weeks ago. I don't know. What is time anymore in quarantine?
What even?
But I think I do remember you writing about how you met your wife through Anime Club and how anime kind of saved your life, I think is what you said, or it impacted you very much.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it ever saved my life. But it definitely impacted me a lot in that, when I went into college, I was moving to a completely new town. I'm the kind of person that grew up having the same group of friends. My best friend has been my best friend since preschool, literally.
Oh,
like
wow.
we went to the same schools all the way through high school, pretty much. And I've had a very tightly knit friend group going up through high school. And then when I went to college, it was like, oh no, I don't know how to make friends. What do I do? And it was just a really lonely first year of college because I just hadn't really developed that skill of making a friend that wasn't already a friend of someone else. And so, it was very kind of a lonely experience. And, getting into anime and through that going into Anime Club and being able to meet people who have that shared interest. It's very easy to talk to someone when you have a shared interest. It was something that, while I wouldn't say, save my life or anything, it definitely made me much happier in a environment where I was very unhappy. And yeah, through that, I met a person who, invited me to a thing that my wife was also invited to, and we connected through that. I ended up becoming vice president of the Anime Club, and became kind of like a known figure there. And so like anime is hugely important to me.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Aw. I used to go to a lot of anime conventions, and then I just got very tired of like having to scramble to get a costume done, which like I know you don't need to, but for me I'm just like, well, I'm going to a convention, I want to cosplay the character that I like.
Yeah.
Forchi says, no joke, anime was my savior when I lost these to my hands and couldn't game for a few years. It's such a good escape. Like, it really is such a good escape. Have you ever seen Bakano?
I love Bakano. Are you kidding?
Yay!
Bakano is like number 5. You guys are going through all my favorite anime right now.
Wait, did you ever make like a top 10 list for anime?
Oh, I'm sure I have.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Like, I can probably go down.
Yeah. That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Tan says cosplaying during the convention itself seems so exhausting. Oh, it is, but it's also so rewarding. I think just because I like being able to like bring a character to life, it makes me super happy. Like, I cosplayed Urza from Fairy Tail, and like it made me so happy to see people come up and be like, "Oh, she's my favorite character." I'm like, "Yeah, mine too." Like, you know, it's such an easy way to converse with people. I do kind of miss that sense of community, because like people who go to anime conventions are definitely like very open, and I think it's because they feel comfortable with people who are there. So that's the one thing I kind of miss, but I don't miss the scrambling to find a hotel, buying the convention tickets, and all that stuff. But
there's
yeah,
a lot
I definitely
that goes
miss.
into conventions. Yeah, what you said about bringing a character to life is like something that resonates really with me, because I obviously I'm friends with Phil, who's a voice actor. I was very into voice acting, and it's that very same thing of like wanting to bring life to a character that doesn't really have life without it. It's such a powerful feeling, and totally understand.
Wait, have you done voice acting for like?
Yeah.
What? Why did I not know this? Okay, all
I don't
right,
know.
okay.
I have it in my Twitter.
So many more questions. Okay, what did you do voice acting for?
I've done Walla, which is background voices for Kill la Kill, Toradora. What else? God, it's been so long. It was like another lifetime ago at this point.
That's so cool.
One Punch
though.
Man. I was in the Walla for One Punch Man. There's a bunch of small. I'm actually my one thing that I'm in that you can actually make out my voice because I did like a call out for it, is a Korean movie called The Flu, which you probably shouldn't watch during the pandemic because it'll make you very scared.
Yeah.
But I remember it's such a weird case because it's this black guy who's driving a truck, and he already has a voice in the Japanese version, but for whatever reason they wanted me to dub over what he was saying with a completely different line, and so
Oh no.
you can hear me as this black guy. It's such a weird thing. But yeah, if you ever watch the English dub of The Flu, go check it out.
That's so weird. That is such a like weirdly specific thing that they wanted you to do.
Yeah. That was also a
That's so
nightmare of a
cool.
session. It was like 3 hours long. It was just all screaming. We were just like,
Jesus.
you can imagine during a pandemic movie, everyone
Oh, yeah.
is just screaming in the background. So that was us, me and like 7 other people.
Yeah.
Those sessions are the best.
Forchi says Mitchell is now my hero.
Oh, well, I will don a cape for you.
Okay. Remind me to talk to you about voice acting and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I
have a demo and everything.
Cool. What? I mean, I guess that explains why you switched into like a nerd voice so quickly and so easily.
Yeah.
Like it was like, yeah, that was so well. Okay, cool. So if I ever need something voice acted, I'll definitely reach out to you.
Yeah. Before I got to IGN, it was like my main pursuit. And it's just all credit to Phil and everyone else who does it, because it's such a hard profession to follow, where everything is based on what you're booking, and it's nothing is guaranteed, and just the opportunity to have a steady paycheck came my way, and I shamefully took it.
It's not shamefully. It's hey, look, it's still in the field that you
shamefully
like, right?
in that there's a bunch of other people that I'm friends with that are still doing the hustle, and I just have nothing but the utmost of respect to them.
Well, you're now a published game reviewer, so I mean, oh yeah. For people who don't know, I think you mentioned it earlier, but he did the game review for Ghost of Tsushima for IGN. So
Yeah.
I actually watched that like so many times when I did my first review for Hyperscape, because I was like, how do I do this? How do I format it? Like, especially for the editing. And I was just like, oh, like this. Okay. So you're definitely one of the like easiest people to talk to at IGN, and like you're always there to help. And it really means a lot to me, because like you were at my interview. So like, and like before we even met, you were just like, yeah, here, just do this, or like, yeah, Destin means this, do this. So
yeah, I mean, anytime. I enjoy the feeling I get from helping people out. So
yeah. Ooh, Forchi asks, does Mitchell like God of High School?
I do. I've fallen off of it recently. It hasn't. Like the first episode was one of the best first episodes of any anime I've seen in a very long time. And it just kind of blew me away with its animation. The episodes after that have still been good, but they haven't really sunk their hooks into me like that first episode did. So I've kind of fallen off of it. But yeah, I like Out of High School. I think the fight scenes in that are so good. So yeah.
Ooh, worst anime you've ever watched. Like
School
you
Days.
couldn't get past
School Days. Just immediately
Wow, okay.
School Days. School Days is just it's an affront.
I think I've heard of that. What's the premise?
So it's a very basic setup for a high school romance story. The big thing that sets it apart is that the main character is just the most terrible human being in the world. Zero redeeming qualities, and yet he's got like 5 girls that are all falling head over heels for him. The big claim to fame, and guys, if you actually want to watch School Days, cover your ears, take off your headphones. The big claim to fame for School Days is that at the end, bad things happen. Just
Like
total psychotic murdering goes on. It takes quite the turn, let's say. So the end, what I would recommend if you are interested in School Days, watch the first episode, skip to the last episode, and just see how it all plays out. And then in your head, make up a story of everything that goes in between those 2 points.
Yeah. Hey, Shadow, I liked Future Diaries. Mirai Nikki was so good because it had like this twist. Yeah, it had this like twist with what is it, time travel, like different different universes. I liked that. Unless you mean like the violence. The violence in that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Zin says they must have known the series was doomed, so they just blew it up. I think that the original Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood, that anime was really bad. Because I was like, where are they going with this?
I don't think it was really bad. I do think Brotherhood is much better. I think they had a tough thing that they had to do because the manga wasn't done when they were making that story, and so they kind of had to go off in their own direction. I think given those circumstances, they did a respectable job. And there's a couple of like moments in the original Full Metal Alchemist anime that are like that really, stick with me. And they did a really good job of adapting everything up to the point where the split happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked the original Full Metal Alchemist, even though I, understand that Brotherhood is much, much better.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, considering they didn't have the full story to go off of, they did okay. But
I don't think it's Game of Thrones bad.
Oh God, no. But yeah, after having read the manga and then watched the anime, I was just like, oh my God, like this writer needs more recognition because she went through so many different, like there were so many twists and so many things that like you never thought would connect from the beginning. And it was just, I loved it. Favorite anime.
Yeah. Totally agree.
The Divergence was bad. Is that a movie or is that an anime?
I think he's mentioning the divergence in the story from Full Metal Alchemist to Full Metal Alchemist
okay.
Brotherhood.
Sorry, I was thinking of like Divergent, the movie series. Oh God, I don't know why.
I mean, that's just that's what I think is happening.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Last question because we are running out of time. But saddest anime death.
Ooh, man, Hughes is pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's also really sad because the Japanese voice actor of Hughes passed away recently too.
No, are you serious?
One of the best voice actors, I think, in Japanese.
Man.
There's man. All right, if we're talking about sad deaths, we gotta make sure that everyone's okay with spoilers, right?
Ooh, okay.
Wait.
Anime betrayals. Top anime betrayal for you.
Top anime betrayal?
Yes.
Like this is an actual anime betrayal, not just like the meme of like top 10 anime.
Like it's an actual anime.
God, my mind is on Full Metal Alchemist, so I'm just thinking. I'm thinking Full Metal Alchemist, and then thinking Ling versus when Ling betrays Ed and
my God.
becomes Greed.
Yeah,
that's definitely up there. Yeah, that's the only one that really comes to mind right now.
Yeah, I think spoilers for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Greed's death honestly hit me pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, he finally kind of got redemption. And I was just like, no. I felt so bad. Oh.
Yeah. God, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is so good.
It is. Damn. Do I want to rewatch it? Oh, I have so many things I'm watching.
What are you watching right now?
So I'm watching Smallville for the first time. And, I need to catch up to, I think I'm like 2 episodes behind on The Boys. I started watching Star Trek from the beginning. So
okay,
yeah, that's been really nice actually. Yeah, it's been so nice. It's actually it's definitely dated, but they actually did a pretty good job of like doing practical effects and everything, and like some of the twists I don't see coming. So I'm just like, all right, cool, this is nice. Yeah, let's see what else. Yeah, those are like the mains that I keep rotating. So, I just started rewatching the Harry Potter series.
Ooh.
So, because it's been so long.
Uh,
Yeah.
cool.
How about you?
Yeah.
What are you watching?
So speaking of things that are dated but still, good, I just started rewatching the original Dragon Ball with my wife.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, which has been a lot of fun. It's you watching it through the perspective of action anime in 2020 is definitely interesting. You could see like, okay, they're really skimping on the animation budget here, and like sometimes like characters' clothes or hair will just look completely different from scene to scene. But man, I really liked how Dragon Ball started, and even though I like Dragon Ball Z, I'm kind of sad that they kind of moved away from this comedy focus that they had at the start of Dragon Ball, because it's genuinely very funny. And like Goku is just this adorable, naive idiot. And I guess you can kind of say that he's a naive idiot in the other Dragon Ball shows, but he loses that adorability. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm really enjoying Dragon Ball again.
I think that's the main complaint I heard about Dragon Ball Z. They're just like, yeah, I really miss the comedic effects of the original. So, but yeah. And then, of course, everyone else is like, well, how did he and Chi-Chi have a son? But okay. So, yeah, that's actually really cool. I saw the original Dragon Ball on Hulu, too, and I considered watching it. So maybe I'll add that to the list.
Yeah, check it out. I mean, we skipped ahead. We started watching from like episode 30 or so.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. All right. Well, we are definitely over the hour mark. Is there any like fighting game releases that you want to encourage people to check out, or animes that you want people to check out? Any last minute like throw-ins?
I've already plugged Phil's stream, so that's good. I've already plugged Higurashi remake that's coming out. I've already plugged my review that's coming out on Monday. I've plugged a lot over the course of this hour, so
You have,
I don't know what else I should really talk about. So
okay.
yeah,
Well,
I think I'm good.
let me plug your Twitter, Twitch. I just put his Twitch in chat. So if you guys want, you guys can follow him, because he said he was going to start streaming after
Splunky 2 comes out, which is on Tuesday. I'm definitely
Wait,
gonna do a stream.
Wow.
I'm definitely gonna do a stream of Splunky 2.
Do it.
Yeah. And every Friday I stream with my buddy Phil on sometimes on my channel, sometimes on his channel. So definitely check him out. It's Phil Emreich.
Yeah, do you mind? So people can find you on your Twitter, which is Jurassic Rabbit, and your Twitch is also Jurassic Rabbit.
Pretty much anything, any kind of social media other than okay, actually, never mind. I'm only on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube and Twitch. But Jurassic Rabbit, I think I have a lock on that name, fortunately. If you are at a Jurassic Rabbit and it's not me, let me know at twitter.com/Jurassic Rabbit.
You'll fight them.
I will fight them for it.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. I will definitely catch up with you after this, but I'm going to hang up here, but yeah.
Thank you so much fun. Thank you, Stella.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out of this, because I know you're working on your review. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right, so I actually had my